Bitcoin. It's a word you see pretty much everywhere, but what is it really? I mean, beyond all the hype and the crazy headlines, there's a seriously powerful idea. And yeah, it can seem kind of complex, but I promise by the end of this, the core breakthrough is gonna click. So let's dive in. Let's just start with a huge question. What if you could actually be your own bank? I mean, truly your own bank. Imagine sending money anywhere in the world to anyone you want without ever having to ask for permission. That's the big idea right there, the promise that gets so many people so excited about Bitcoin. To really get why Bitcoin was such a game changer, we first have to understand this one massive problem that had computer scientists stumped for decades. It's called the double spend dilemma. And the problem? It's actually super simple when you think about it. Just imagine you have a digital photo on your computer. You can copy it, paste it, email it a million times, right? And every single copy is perfect. So, if digital money is just a computer file, what's to stop me from just copy-pasting a digital dollar and spending it over and over and over again? Well, the old solution was to stick a trusted middleman in there, like a bank. They keep the one true master list of who owns what. They're the referee, right? They make sure you can't spend the same money twice. But this creates a huge problem, a single point of failure. If that central bank gets hacked or goes out of business or just decides to shut you down, poof, the whole system is at risk. And that's exactly why so many digital currencies before Bitcoin failed. And then, out of nowhere in 2008, this mysterious person, or maybe a group of people, using the name Satoshi Nakamoto, published a paper. And it proposed this incredibly elegant solution, a way to have a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that solved that double spend problem without needing a bank or any central authority at all. And things moved fast. The paper comes out in late 2008. By January 2009, the network is live. But here's the wildest part. After guiding the project for about 2 years, Satoshi just vanished. Disappeared. They left this world-changing technology in the hands of the entire global community, with absolutely no one in charge. So, how on earth did Satoshi pull this off? How do you create trust in a system where there's no leader? Well, it all boils down to 3 core concepts, 3 pillars that work together in a really, really clever way. First up, you've got the blockchain. Now, forget all the jargon for a second. Just think of it like a public notebook that everyone shares and can see. Every single transaction is just a new line written in that notebook. And the crucial part is, each new entry is mathematically locked onto the one before it, creating a chain. Once something is written in that book, it's permanent. You can't change it, you can't erase it, it's there forever. Okay, second pillar, private keys. So if the blockchain is the public notebook for everyone to see, your private key is like your unique secret signature. It's just a super long secret code that proves you own your Bitcoin. It's the only thing that lets you sign a transaction and authorize moving your funds. This is what puts you and only you in control. And the last piece of the puzzle is called proof of work, which you've probably heard of as mining. This is the engine that keeps the whole thing running. Just picture this massive global competition where super powerful computers are all racing to solve a really hard math puzzle. The first one to solve it gets to add the next page of transactions to the blockchain. And for doing that work, they get rewarded with brand new Bitcoin. This whole competition is what makes the network so incredibly secure. To cheat, you'd have to outpower the rest of the network combined, which is, well, it's pretty much impossible. Okay, so that's the theory, but what does this actually look like in the real world? How does it work in practice? Let's walk through it with a character from our source material we'll call Alice, who's just getting her feet wet. For someone like Alice, and for you, getting started is actually way easier than you might think. It really just comes down to 3 basic steps. Let's go through them. First things first, Alice needs a wallet. This is just an app that holds her private keys and lets her talk to the Bitcoin network. There are a bunch of different types, some for your desktop, some are little hardware devices for maximum security. But for a beginner like Alice, a simple mobile wallet on her phone is perfect. It's super convenient and easy to get started with. Okay, now listen up, because this is the most important part. I am not kidding. When Alice sets up her wallet, it's going to give her a recovery code, usually 12 or 24 random words. This is the master key to all her funds. If she loses her phone, these words are the only way she can get her Bitcoin back. She has to write them down on paper and keep them somewhere super safe and offline. This part is absolutely non-negotiable. And this all leads to a really famous saying in the Bitcoin world: your keys, your coins. Not your keys, not your coins. It's simple. It means if you are the one who controls that secret recovery code, you truly control your money. If you leave your coins with some other service where you don't hold the keys, you're just trusting them and hoping for the best. All right, so Alice is all set up and ready to go. Her friend Joe wants to send her a little bit of Bitcoin. All Alice has to do is open her wallet, tap the receive button, and a QR code pops up on her screen. That code is her public address. Think of it like an email address for money. It's totally safe to share with anyone. So Joe scans her code, hits send, and boom, a few seconds later, the transaction shows up in Alice's wallet. But it's marked as unconfirmed. All this means is that it's been sent out to the network and it's just sitting in a waiting room, waiting for those miners we talked about to grab it and lock it into the blockchain forever. That usually takes about 10 minutes or so. So, there we have it. Alice is officially a Bitcoin user. But let's zoom out for a second. Why does any of this really matter? Why is this technology such a big deal to so many people? It all comes down to this one number, 21 million. Unlike traditional currencies, which can basically be printed forever, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, period. That absolute scarcity is hard-coded into the system. It's not a bug. It's the most important feature. So when you put all these pieces together, what do you get? You get a system with a supply that is absolutely fixed and totally predictable. You have a network with no CEO, no central office, no one in charge. It works exactly the same in every single country on Earth, and it's not secured by armies or governments, but by pure math. There's a great quote from the source material that frames this perfectly. It calls Bitcoin the Internet of Money. And that's such a great way to think about it. The original Internet gave us the ability to send information anywhere, instantly, without permission. Bitcoin does the same thing, but for value. And so we're left with this huge, thought-provoking question. We've got this technology that solves a problem that stumped geniuses for decades, creating a verifiably scarce digital thing that no single person or group can ever control. So is this just a fascinating computer science experiment, or are we looking at the next evolution of money itself? That's something to think about.